This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 16. With the 3 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The Prime Minister says he'll be seeking win-wins when he sits down with the US President next week. Trade and defence will be on the agenda during Anthony Albanese's first face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump. Mr Albanese is expected to push for an exemption from American tariffs. He's told the National Press Club there's room to compromise, but some things are non-negotiable.
On things like the pharmaceutical benefit scheme, the media bargaining code, our biosecurity in agriculture, they're not on the table. But are there areas in which Australia and the United States can have win-wins? Yes, I believe that there are.
Australia has lodged a complaint over an incident in Los Angeles in which police shot a 9 News reporter with a rubber bullet. Lauren Tomasi was covering demonstrations against immigration raids in the city when she was fired at. The Mayor of Los Angeles believes the US government may have intentionally inflamed unrest in LA to test its level of power over the states. California's governor is suing the president for deploying the National Guard without a request, claiming it was beyond the federal government's power. Mayor Karen Bass says she warned the Trump administration the deployment of federal troops would make things worse.
This was chaos that was started at Washington, D.C. On Thursday, the city was peaceful. On Friday, it was not, because of the intervention of the federal government.
The mushroom murder trial continues in Victoria. Accused killer Erin Patterson has denied an allegation she was worried about getting caught when medical staff raised concerns about death cap mushroom poisoning. The 50-year-old telling the jury she was anxious at the idea that she and her lunch guests could have eaten those things. During today's cross-examination, Patterson rolled her eyes while seated in the witness box when the prosecution said they would read to the court evidence from Leongatha Hospital nurse Kylie Ashton. Patterson disrupted evidence from Ms Ashton that she told the mother of 2 it was important that her children be medically assessed. Well, the countdown's on to next month's Illuminate Adelaide Festival. Organiser Lee Cumberledge says work is starting this week in the Botanic Gardens, setting up night visions.
There's thousands of lights and lasers and projections, so that's going really well. Universal Kingdom also, that's a great experience for the family with all the amazing, prehistoric creatures that we've got in there, life-size dinosaurs and puppets. It's going to be fantastic.
The free City Lights program and Late Night Hub Base Camp also return from July 2nd. And Taylor Swift has been granted a temporary restraining order against a Colorado man. He insists the singer is the mother of his child. He first turned up at her LA home last year. Now turning to 5AA sport, and the Crows head to Tassie for round 14. Adelaide face Hawthorn on Friday night. Isaac Cummings says the win against the Lions has given them a further boost.
Yeah, I think any win you sort of get confidence out. Obviously, Brisbane are a seriously good side. I don't know if it's like something we take more confidence out of. We definitely, might feel like it's a bigger win because they're a better team than some others around the comp at the minute. I think any time we can get a good win against any side is good for our confidence.
Formula One has finalised their 2026 calendar. Melbourne will host the first race of the season for the second year running. It will be held March 8. The Socceroos have held their final training session before tomorrow's final game in round 3 of World Cup qualifiers. They face Saudi Arabia in Jeddah. And the ICC has announced its 2025 Hall of Fame. Inductees include Matthew Hayden and MS Dhoni. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon, roads looking too bad for the run home today. Dampened a few spots after passing showers, and look out for works at Edwardstown today. Anglevale Road near Steppen Heath Road. Plimpton Park has works too for the upgrade of the Cross Road and Mallory Road intersections, and we are slow south road at Clovelly Park for upgrades on South Road there. Canberra's Grant Avenue, Rose Park and McGill Road, McGill. Amart's Club VIP night is on in store tonight from 5. Join free for one night only deals plus local delivery when you spend $1,499 or more. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a shower or two this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 16, a possible shower Thursday, 16, and mostly sunny on Friday, 17. Right now, it's 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, an Oban bus Plus, careers off the track. See it happen. An investigation now underway. The LAPD launches a formal investigation after our US correspondent was shot with a rubber bullet. Fertility giant Monash IVF apologises for another embryo mistake, and the new pain-free way to tell if you're gluten intolerant. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Kick off 2026 in style on the ultimate New Year's escape with Royal Caribbean, exclusive to Phil Hoffman Travel. Enjoy 2 nights in Singapore, including a Universal Studios day pass. Then set sail on an 8-night New Year's Bali cruise aboard Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. Includes world-class entertainment, Broadway-style shows, delicious dining and more from just $3,999 per person twin share with flight credit included. Book now. Visit pht.com.au.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
Third hour of the show, 7 minutes after 3. Welcome along to this Tuesday afternoon. If you're tuning in via the Complete Care live stream on Facebook and YouTube, nice to have you on board. You know, I was watching this morning with David and Will on their live stream. Sam, let's get a tarantula into the studio. Were you so hoping that he was going to spill and all of a sudden a spider would be out like some great movie? We'll do that in the next 6 months, sitting in for Stacey. We'll bring some kind of venomous animal into the studio, which will be a little bit of fun. If you want to join us this hour, we would love that. It's Turkey Tuesday. You would know someone, I'm sure, that has been a bit of a turkey. Someone you think, you know, they haven't had the greatest long weekend. It doesn't have to be an individual. It can be a group. Can be a business, can be an organisation. Who has been the turkey? 8223 0000. We'll give you the chance to pick up 6 bottles of the beautiful Turkey Flat Vineyards wine, the Butcher's Block. You've got to drink responsibly. We'll chuck 3 Shiraz and 3 GSM your way. Who has been a turkey? Do we know enough about the Oban situation to label anyone a turkey in that situation just yet? Maybe we'll hold on our fire for that. But if you've got one, we would love to hear it. But at 8 minutes after 3, it's time for
5AA's State of the Arts.
Always great to catch up with the team from Disney on Ice. They return to Adelaide in a brand new show. It is called Find Your Hero. Now, this is a terrific show for the whole family. Even if you don't have kids or grandkids, though, you will enjoy it. If you do have little ones, even more so, because you'll get to enjoy it yourself and see the joy through their eyes as well. Delighted to be joined by Cale Bergeson. He's part of the ensemble for Disney on Ice Find Your Hero, which is here in Adelaide from Friday the 20th until the 22nd of June, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Entertainment Centre. Cale, thanks so much. Welcome to Australia.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You are someone who's been skating your whole life, correct?
Yes, I've been skating ever since the age of 3, and I just turned 30 in March, so my whole life, yeah.
Where was your career goals? Did you think you were going to play ice hockey? Were you looking to become like an Olympic skater? How did you come into the world of Disney?
So I actually grew up skating. I live in Duluth, Minnesota, back in the USA. We're right below Canada. There's ice everywhere. It's always really cold. But I started playing ice hockey first. And then I went to a little local ice show. My mom was a figure skating coach, and I was really young, and I said, you know what, I want to try tricks like my mom used to do. So then I put on figure skates instead, and I took it to it like a duck to water, and I've been doing it ever since.
And when you say duck to water, you're remarkably good at this, aren't you, in that you've won a number of gold medals in freestyle and field events. You've been a competitor for such a long time. So not only do you get to bring out your artistic side with the Disney show, but you're a great skater.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. I like to hope to think so for sure. But yeah, I just worked really hard. Athleticism is a really big part of our jobs. And all the training for competing back in the day really helped with transitioning into the performance side for Disney as well. But it became less of like a, competitive field to the performance field. So it was just a much more joyful skate being with Disney. I was always a nervous competitor. Luckily, I did pretty well, but it's just very joyful to be with Disney and sharing my passion and my love for ice skating with people around the world, which is really, really great.
Cale, my family, we're all Disney tragics. We've been to Disneyland and to Disney World, and we just love the whole concept of it. What's it like when you're in the machine? What's it like when you get to experience that magic day in, day out?
Yeah, well, I don't want it to sound too cheesy or anything. I mean, Mickey Mouse loves cheese, but it is really just, pure magic and pure joy. And that's my favorite part about doing this job is that we get to actually bring Disney magic to all the far corners of the world and to people that might not be able to get to a Disney park or experience, Disney for themselves. So it's really, really a unique opportunity, and it's just been, the ride of my life doing it. I'm just very grateful to be able to spread that magic to everyone around.
And I'm sure, Carl, when you look into the audience, those faces, those smiles you're seeing, they're not just kids, are they? Like, it doesn't matter what age you are, what demographic you are, everyone still loves that Disney magic.
Yeah, it's so true. Everyone just loves the Disney magic, and actually some of the biggest smiles that I've seen in my career are actually from the elderly group. I've seen a lot of grandparents bring their grandkids to Disney on Ice, and so many of their faces light up because it was actually the first time they got to see their favorite Disney characters, which was really, really cool. So it was just such a really humbling experience being able to provide that kind of joy to them in their lives. And it's just like, oh, wow, I can't believe we touched people. I mean, Disney's been around for so long, but people of that age and that demographic, it's like, wow, this is what we do. And it's actually a very, very, wonderful thing that we can provide to people, which is great.
Carl Bergerson is my guest. He's part of Disney on Ice Find Your Hero, which is here in Adelaide from Friday the 20th until Sunday the 22nd of June. A number of shows. You can take your pick pretty much. You can get on to ticketek.com.au for all of the ticket information. Carl, for the limited times that I've skated around the ice arena here in Adelaide, I pretty much just stick to the edge and sort of hold on. And when I'm feeling brave, I might just move off the edge somewhat. How difficult is it to perform the tricks while wearing these gigantic, elaborate Disney costumes?
We take our athleticism. All of us have been skating for so many years. All of us came from different backgrounds of skating. We have a lot of soloists. We have pair skaters, ice dance, synchro. But all of us have trained pretty much our whole lives back from wherever we're from, wherever we grew up skating. So we at least have that in our back pockets. But when it comes to the costumes, that's just something that we all had to, again, retrain our bodies to, wear and to try to skate and maneuver in these costumes. But it's so much fun to be able to wear the costumes, and with all the show lights and everything, it just makes the show look so much better. And it's a lot of fun to really be able to get into a character and go out there and perform. But it was a learning curve for sure, but your body gets used to it, and it's just so much fun to perform, and I love it so much.
It's like the United Nation of skating too. I saw that Ida and Quentin, who are Rapunzel and Flynn, a real-life couple from France and Sweden. Ariel, played by Sarah, is from the US. Miles, who's playing Kristoff, is from Scotland. You've got a nice sprinkling of everyone in there. Yeah,
we have people from all over the world. We make lifelong friendships, which is great, and we all become kind of like a family. It's a big tour family. But we have so many people from different backgrounds, and it's just so much fun. And I can just say the little potlucks that we do and stuff, it's always great. We always share different foods and recipes and stories, and it's just a wonderful experience. And I'm so happy I have these lifelong friends from all over. It's wonderful.
Well, the people of Adelaide and South Australia will love it. As I mentioned, there are a number of shows. 2 on the Friday the 20th. There's 3 on the Saturday, 3 on the Sunday, 10, 2 and 6 across both days. And if you love Disney, and let's be honest, who doesn't? It's all the magic. It's all the music. It's the characters you know and love, from Mirabelle from Encanto, Moana and Maui. You've got Anna and Elsa from Frozen, the Disney princesses, Mickey and Minnie, of course, plus all of the great favourites. Get on to ticketek.com.au the 20th until the 22nd of June here at the Entertainment Centre. It's great to have you back in the country, and thank you for coming to visit us here in Adelaide. Really appreciate it, Cale.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our state can be proud of its unique businesses, big and small. Let's celebrate them with 5AA's Best of SA.
Cheapest Chips has helped South Aussies to live cheaper for 40 years. With 25 locations across SA, there's a Cheapest Chips near you, selling everything from daily essentials to storage solutions and garden products. Jump online or visit your local Cheapest Chips today and live cheaper.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 3,000 Hyundais, i30s, 20s, Santa Fe's, 2,000 Kias, Sorrentos, Carnivals, Rios, over 700 Hondas. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
Unhealthy mould spreads quickly in your bathroom. For a sparkling clean, mould-free shower, call the Grout Guy and stop it before it starts.
Health and wellbeing looks different to everyone, which is why Health Partners is more than just your health partner. And thanks to Health Partners, I caught up with Port Adelaide's Matilda Scholes to talk about how staying active helps her keep a positive mindset. Whether it's a quick stretch or a walk around the block, Matilda believes it's the little things that help her feel balanced and mentally strong. Looking after your health and wellbeing is better with a partner. Health Partners, health insurance made human.
9 out of 10 people who are blind or vision impaired don't need to be. Just $25 can help restore a person's sight. See Fred Hollow's vision live on.
What did he say? He says we can see quite well.
Please donate to the Fred Hollows Foundation today at hollows.org.
Every eye is an eye.
Just call Ken Hall. We'll be there anytime at all. Just call Ken Hall.
Winter is coming, bringing blocked drains, cold showers, leaking roofs and a chilly home. Don't worry, just call Ken. We'll be there when you need us. Ken Hall will get your home ready for winter with heater servicing, gutter cleaning and roof inspections. Stay safe and warm this winter. Just call Ken. Working for you since 1983.
Just call Ken Hall.
This end of financial year, the feeling starts at CMI Toyota, SA's #1 selling Toyota dealer. Get great end of financial year deals right now on a huge range of pre-owned, demo and new vehicles in stock. But hurry, CMI Toyota's end of financial year deals must end by June 30. View the range at cmitoyota.com.au or visit CMI Toyota West Terrace City, Cheltenham or Christie's Beach today.
We love to see you, CMI.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota. LVD 2009.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
18 minutes after 3. Amazing story for you after 3:30 of a South Australian lady who retraced some of her father's history. I think you'll find it inspirational and maybe, just maybe, you have got a story like that in your family that you might be able to do. This is our Complete Care live stream. You can check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. Who's been the turkey? We've got 6 free lines available now. A lot of text messages on this already, but we want to hear from you. 8223 0000. Who has been a turkey in the last week or so, perhaps over the long weekend? Your chance to win 6 bottles of wine thanks to Turkey Flat Vineyards. You can showcase the new Butcher's Block wine. We've got 3 Shiraz for you, 3 GSM for you. 8223 0000. Who has been a turkey? Who's done something just ridiculous that you want to nominate and get in the running for the wines? Couple of text messages first. Con suggested that the turkey of the week has to be the turkey Donald Trump. He overreacted, called out the National Guard. Please play a few bars of this song from 10cc.
Load up, load up, load up. We're rubber bullets. Load up, load up, load up. We're rubber bullets.
See, we can play it in a humorous sense because luckily Lauren Tomasi is fine. She's got a bruise on her leg, but no thanks to the idiots at the police there in the United States. So thank you, Con, for your nomination. Peter said the turkey of the week should be the state treasurer. Wonder what he's done to you, Pete, that you're not happy about. He says good for nothing, according to Peter on the text. Thank you for that. And I've got a new nomination, and I wish I could show you. But I can't. And I know I shouldn't say that because it's teasing, but we've just had 5 of the most vitriolic abusive text messages to me from someone whose number ends in 5808. So thank you for that. Clearly triggered by an interview with Disney on Ice. And maybe had bad Disney experience, I'm not sure. But thank you, I appreciate it. First and foremost, do me a favour, Turkey, buy yourself a dictionary. There are so many mistakes in your abusive text messages. The important words you spelt right, but you got to work on your dictation there. Mark from Littlehampton, who's your turkey, Mark?
Well, I'd like to not make it my granddaughter who's 5 years old, but she's actually nominated me in a strange way. We were driving along the other day and we're just sitting in the car and I was scratching my chin and she turned to me and she went, Poppy, and I said, yes, Cora, what would you like? She said, why do you have 2 chins?
Oh,
ouch. So I figured that was a good turkey one.
Wow, yeah, that's. I'm sure she meant it with love.
Oh, she did. It was just an innocent child remark, but it's funny because I did have 3 until I started losing weight, so I wasn't that upset about it.
Well done, Mark. What is the success? What is the secret to your success, Mark?
I have a heart attack in Thailand.
Oh, really?
Yes. But as people go Thailand, of all places, got the best treatment ever. Couldn't complain at all.
Wow. Gee, how scary that. How much weight did you lose?
I've lost about 11 kilos so far.
Probably wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but...
No. I was a wake-up call. I knew I had to lose weight, and this just made me go, it's about time.
Mark, thank you for that. Your granddaughter is in the running for the Turkey of the Week. We're a little insensitive calling a granddaughter a turkey, but hey, this is how we play the game. What's the old adage? Hey, the game, not the player. Hello, Kathy from Theberton.
How are you guys?
G'day, Kathy. Who's your turkey, Kathy?
Customer service. It lacks very much. In shop, you walk in the shop, nobody acknowledges you. You try and ring up the shop, no one answers the phone.
Yes.
You ring an insurance place, have you looked online? Nobody wants to know nothing.
Good turkey. You're right. It's changed, hasn't it, from decades gone by?
No customer service.
Were you able to get whatever you needed?
Well, have you tried to ring Big Doug at the Brickworks?
Oh, no, I haven't.
No such line. You can't ring.
Oh, yeah. See, a few businesses do that now. They don't make the phone available to you. Yeah. That's infuriating. So have you still got the same problem then with the Brickworks, or have you been able to sort it since?
Well, you look online and it says you're in stock. You go there and they say, no, online is not accurate.
Yeah, yeah. That's a double
so you
turkey.
waste your time going down there.
Kathy, that's a great point. If it says in stock online, it should be in the store. And it probably is somewhere. They just don't know where it is, but that's infuriating. That's a great turkey. Well done, Kathy. Appreciate the call. Russell from Lockleys. Who's been a turkey, Russ?
Oh, come on, mate. It's got to be Caroline Wilson. She's the biggest turkey ever, mate.
Oh, ouch. Bit of shrapnel for Carol on the way through. What did she do in particular, though?
Well, she said that that Miller, that fella from St Kilda didn't want to come to the Adelaide Crows and then his manager's gone and said it's a load of crap.
Nasiah. Yep.
Yes, I mean, God, stop spinning yarns, this lady. She does it all the time.
Well, to be fair, she's got TV shows and radio shows, I guess. But so what you're saying is that you want a bit more truth to these rumours and allegations, I guess.
Well, I figure, why keep putting crap out there when it's not true,
Good point.
It just makes people get infuriated, mate.
Well, I guess maybe we need to revisit this turkey in 6 months' time. But yes, I think that does happen. There's not a lot of chance for people to bite back, is there, at the end of this footballing year and say, hey, you made this claim in June and it hasn't come true. So would you like to apologise? It kind of just gets thrown out into the ether and then it either comes true or it doesn't. So not a lot of strict discipline on that, I guess. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate it. Another Russell, this one in Craigburn Farm. Hello, Russ.
Oh, hello, Lee. This is sort of therapy for me. I've got to try and let it go.
Excellent.
I was travelling back from Mount Barker down the freeway and a tradie was I was passing somebody doing maybe 112 and this tradie was sitting, honestly, so close to me and doing that speed, I was just absolutely terrified. I thought to myself, if something happens, he's going to just crash into me so badly. Anyway, I'm trying to let it go and this is good therapy, so thank you.
Oh, pleasure. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have been in a similar situation, Russell, to you, and have thought the exact same thing. Appreciate the call. Thank you for that. You're in the running for the 6 bottles of Turkey Flat Vineyards wine. Rick in Anglevale. Who's been to Turkey, Rick?
I'm afraid it's myself.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
Yep. On the Friday of the long weekend, I left the sunroof open on my car.
Oh, dear.
And now I've got Noah's Ark.
Oh, yeah, that's no good. That is no good. When did you realise?
This morning.
So Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday?
Yes.
Wow. Can you actually sit in it, or is it you're like sitting on a sponge?
No, sitting on a sponge. I had to get somebody in with one of those carpet shampoo type things.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. That is not good, Rick. I'm sorry to hear that. That is a great turkey, though. Self-appointed turkey, too. Vina from Hillbank can be our last caller for the turkeys. Who's been a turkey, Vina?
Well, 28 of me and my husband's guests. We had our 73rd birthday celebration on Saturday night at a hotel.
Yep.
And 28 people didn't rock up. Half of them didn't even bother to let us know. So I think they're all turkeys.
No, that's awful, Vina. How come they didn't show?
Well, probably because it was too cold and raining outside. But hell, we're in a hotel.
You're indoors. Oh, my
That's
Lord.
it.
That's not right. Have you heard from the people since? Did they give you an excuse or just didn't show?
They didn't show. Some said, it's too cold. Oh, I can't drive in this weather. I'm sick. I've got a cold.
Oh, no, I don't like that. That's not right. Vina, we're going to give you the one. You know what?
On the day.
No, Rick, really stiff. And can we find Rick a prize, Sam? Can we because poor old Rick, let's send Rick to the movies perhaps, yeah. Go and enjoy the movies, Rick, because that's stiff when your car's been drowned for 3 days. But Vina, that's awful. I'll tell you what you can do. You can get these 6 bottles of Turkey Flat Vineyard wine, the 3 Shiraz, the 3 GSMs, and then you can just enjoy them with the good people who came to your party. So are you still going to be friends, or are you going to have an awkward conversation with these people saying you missed out on a good night?
My guest list will be very short come next year for our 74th.
Because you would have booked the room. You probably booked all the I don't know if you had to pay a certain set fee or anything.
Sorry?
Did you have to pay like a set fee or a set menu any of that?
Because we're regulars at the hotel, we booked the tables and chairs, and I made that quite clear. The booking,
that's awful.
The RSVPs depend on those table and chairs bookings.
Well, they are turkeys, Vina, but you're the winner in the end.
So turkeys,
enjoy the Turkey Flat Vineyards wine, the new Butcher's Block wines. Drink responsibly, though, Vina, and enjoy. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of our callers. Great, solid Tuesday of turkeys. We'll do it again next week. Thank you for those couple on the text message before we get to the news and we speak to our very special guest. Con said, I'll see Mark's turkey and I'll raise him. My grandchild's comment, Grandpa, have you got a baby in your tummy? It's so embarrassing about my beer belly. Thank you, Con. Pamela says, following on from the chin conversation, my partner took a family picture. When I saw it, I remarked, why did you take a picture of my double chin? And he replied, why did you bring them both? Made me laugh. Thank you, Pam. Graham says, the International Cricket Board are turkeys for selling the rights to broadcast the World Test Final only on Paramount Plus, thus preventing most of us from watching it. Thank God for the ABC, who will have radio coverage, Graham. Thank you for that. And we have 11.4 mils of rain since Friday in Adelaide. So 11.4 mils in your car with the sunroof. Yeah, that's not ideal. Thank you for that. Great fun. Turkey Tuesday. 3:30 headlines next.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. The Prime Minister says trade and defence will be on the agenda during his face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump next week. California has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, asking a judge to declare the mobilisation of National Guard troops unconstitutional. The mushroom murder trial continues in Victoria with Erin Patterson on the stand. And in sport, Port's Jason Horner Sean Francis will be available for this Sunday's game against Melbourne. The 5AA forecast, a shower or two this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 16. Right now, it's 15 degrees. We'll have more news at 4 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
We love sample footy so much that we're taking the sports show to my old stomping ground, Albert and Oval, this Thursday night.
I'm going to walk in behind you, Timmy.
Yeah, you better.
Because you're a legend. Make sure you drop past and see us live from 4 p.m. at the Precinct.
And don't forget to get Albert and Oval for the footy on Saturday. It's a super match. Port Adelaide taking on Woodville West Torrens. We're going to have DJs, bars, food trucks, family zones. Jeez, it's going to be like the 90s. Sample super matches. It's where eats, beats and footy fun collide.
5AA, always Adelaide, and your home of footy.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Huzzah! Question everything!
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Since 1935, Resthaven has supported older South Australians. For more than 35 years, that support has also extended into people's homes, where comfort, dignity and independence matter most. Our caring staff and volunteers have enriched the lives of thousands of older South Australians and their carers. Thank you for putting your trust in Resthaven. If you or someone you love needs welcome support at home, we're here to help. Visit resthaven.asn.au. Celebrating 90 years with Best of SA.
Looking to build or renovate? Then talk to Rundle Blinds and Curtains to plan your window furnishings. Including your blinds and curtains in your designs means you can incorporate the latest in smart home technology and installation innovations, such as ceiling recessing and double tracking. Rundle Blinds and Curtains work closely with your builders and architect to make the process seamless for stunning results. Rundle Blinds and Curtains, Adelaide's premier window furnishings company. Book a consultation with our Kings Park team. Visit rundleblinds.com.au.
Looking for a job? Switching careers? Or trying to find the right team member? Maxima will help you reframe what's possible. Everything from apprenticeships and traineeships to temporary and permanent work. Our consultants are dedicated to guiding you towards a meaningful career. And for employers, our recruitment specialists ensure the perfect match and provide on-the-job support along the way. Maxima Employment Services. Reframe what's possible. For more information, visit maxima.com.au or call 1300 Maxima.
When it comes to flooring for your home or investment property, including plantation shutters and blinds, you've got the world at your feet at Floor World in Adelaide's north, east and west. Floor World keeps prices low on a huge range of flooring options, including wool and synthetic carpets, engineered timber flooring, laminate, hybrid and vinyl flooring, including some of the best Aussie and international brands at fantastic prices. Visit floorworld.com.au for a free in-home consult. Mention this ad for 15% off.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Give dinner a spin at Roulette's Tavern. Every Wednesday night, choose any pasta for only $19. Roulette's Tavern, next to Pal's, Kings Road, Parafield. Thinking of renovating or building? Don't miss the Master Builders Home Show, Jubilee Pavilion Adelaide Showground, June 20 to 22. kjex.com.au. Love animals? Then don't miss the Animal Expo, Wayville Pavilion Adelaide Showground, June 21 and 22. kjex.com.au. 5AA, supporting local business.
Always live. 5AA. Always Adelaide. 5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
25 minutes to 4. Very shortly we'll catch up with Tim Ginniver, Stephen Rowe, find out what's coming on the sports show after 4 o'clock. But I've got a very special treat for you now. And if you want to check this out, this will be a great one for our live stream. For those of you who have their Facebook open or their YouTube open, or if you want to go and watch this back when you get home, if you're in the car, for example, or at work, on our Complete Care live stream, because Kim Vanstone is here. Now, you might say, Kim Vanstone, know the name. You would have heard Kim on 5AA before with the great work she does with Operation Flinders. And Stacey and Sam have been out there before doing the show from there. We've got Kim in, though, to talk about herself more than Operation Flinders, which we'll do at another stage, I'm sure, because she has an amazing story to tell. Lovely to see you, first and foremost. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So you've done something that I'm wondering if many people in the audience possibly have the same kind of material and content at their house, but have never followed through quite as much as you have. We need to talk about your dad.
Yes.
So your dad, John Vanstone, was a very well-known optometrist in Murray Bridge. You're going to tell the story, but when he passed, you found letters, didn't you?
Yes.
Letters from John. How did this story originate, first and foremost?
Yeah, so Dad passed away in March last year, and after his funeral, or after his death actually, you go through the photos and you gather everything, and my brother, sister and I came across a bag of letters, and we always knew they existed, and would see him sometimes go through them and quickly put them away, but we didn't really go through them our whole lives. So I went through these letters, and they were written back in 1958, 1959 from London to his parents back in Adelaide. And it was when he went on a full scholarship to the British Optical Association at London University. And it was his way out of poverty and his way out of getting out of his lifestyle that he grew up in.
So I'm fascinated first and foremost by the origin story. A lot of people would have letters from their parents, perhaps, in their keepings, in their collections. Do you know why all of your dad's letters were kept? So I'm assuming he sent those letters to his parents. His parents then held on to them, your grandparents.
Yes.
And then passed them back to him, and then he held on to them for the rest of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. So in one of the letters, I think it's written in November 1958, he actually says in there, please remember, Mum and Dad, to hold on to these letters, put them in the box in my room in this cupboard, and that's my diary, so I can remember this. And until the day he died, he had them with him.
Did he ever talk to you as kids about the letters? Because nobody knew about these, did they? Or they didn't know the content of them, perhaps?
We knew there was a bag with a lot of paper in them, but we didn't know exactly what was in them. Throughout our whole lives, we would hear stories from Dad about London, and I went there, I studied, I came home, a few bits of detail, but there was nothing in there that I could imagine when I actually went to look through them and piecing it together.
But it's the greatest insight to your dad ever.
Yeah.
You can actually read from the horse's mouth everything he was thinking, writing, seeing, doing from 1958,
the one that you're holding, and it's so much detail, and that's what made it a little bit easier to piece them together. Everything he saw, everything he smelt, the temperature, the views out of the windows, names of buildings, everything was so detailed.
You're able to piece together your dad's life because of his letters. So much of that history is lost to us. You know, there are people listening who would think, wow, I wonder what my parents did when they were younger, or my grandparents, for example. You're able to, and we're going to talk about your trip and how you backtracked on all of those. First and foremost, I'm going to try and hold these up to the live stream so people can see. Your dad's penmanship is beautiful. Like this is 1950s writing, isn't it? Like, I'm nervous to touch it. And this is a 70-year-old piece of paper.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's no lines on there. And there were hundreds.
He, like a beautiful school teacher, like they're all perfect. So when you found the letters at home, was the idea, I'm going to read all of these, I'm going to just discover more about Dad?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I made it to the second letter where there was just something in me where I said, I'm going to follow these, and I'm just going to let every letter take me wherever they mention and wherever they go. I was committed straight away, and it took me over a year to piece them together, put them in a sequence, rewrite them, make notes, and this book that I'm holding now has everything rewritten and itemised and a few notes in there. So that's what I carried with me on my whole trip.
Gosh, it's been like a labour of love for you.
Absolutely. It's been amazing, and it's been really unusual, which has made it even more special.
Now, we should say people can follow along, not just on the live stream today where they're getting to see you, and we're going to have a look at some of your photos on the live stream in a second, and I'll get you to talk us through them, but you've created a social media account, haven't you, so that people can follow your story, which in turn, I guess, is hitting memory points for them of places that they've been, things that they've seen, or what they want to know more about their family.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's on Instagram called letters_from_John. Letters from John. And I'm putting up the letters so you can read them. And then I also show you how I found the locations, what I saw, what I experienced, and then it goes back to Dad. So we actually take it in turn. So we're actually going on this trip together and showing people, even though it's 67 years apart.
You're creating compelling content. It's actually better than a TV show, because when I was in my other role doing nights, I'd get home late at night and I couldn't sleep. at 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I would see you overseas posting stuff online, and I'd be straight on it. It was almost like I hope Kim posts tonight so I can follow the next part of the story. It reminds me, and Kate Winslet was on the show, she did the movie about Lee Miller, famous war photographer, who, again, Lee Miller's kids knew nothing about Lee Miller until they found the letters in the attic.
Yep.
That's exactly what your dad's done. So let's scroll through very quickly. So your dad's an optometrist that we know in Murray Bridge, well-known optometrist in Murray Bridge. But let's go back to his childhood. He's not from a rich family.
No, not at all. Nope. So he was born in Port Augusta, came down to Adelaide, and both his parents were not from wealthy family. So my grandma was a homemaker. He was born in 1936.
Yes.
And my grandpa was a postie. So really straightforward, pretty normal family.
So he would have been the first person to go to university, probably.
Yep.
How does he get to London?
So he ended up, when he was much younger, about 12, 13, was told that he would only ever equate to being a labourer or working on the train lines because he had no skills and he was a lazy student.
Yep.
And he was so determined from there to not do that. And he ended up going to the University of Adelaide, and he was cutting lenses by hand for the first ever OPSM, which was in James Place.
That's right, the only one in the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was getting money from that, and then he applied for a full scholarship to the University of London to become an associate of the British Optical Association.
God, how exciting in the 50s, a kid who thinks he's not going to probably achieve much or become much, and then go on this whirlwind overseas. And again, picture the 50s in London.
Yeah.
What that was like.
Yeah. It's amazing. The photos I actually took with me. I printed them and I actually went to the places and did the photo comparison holding them, which are still coming out on social media. And that was incredible to see no one there. I was at Edinburgh Castle and I actually turned around. I didn't realise I was in the exact spot. And his photos, there was not a soul. But in mine, there's about 300-400 people.
Kim Vanstone is my guest. Letters from John is the project, I guess we call it, which you can follow on social media on Instagram. So if you're watching our Complete Care live stream now, I'll get Sam to drop some of these photos up and just give us a rough idea. So this photo is of what?
So this is myself and Susan, who is the archivist of the Savoy Hotel, the famous Savoy in London. So in one of Dad's letters, which is my favourite, he's received an invitation to attend a cocktail party there in October 1958. The tickets are 6p. He can't afford to go to it. So he's gifted a ticket. And when he enters, he goes down a red carpet, and this letter describes all the things that he's seen, and it's spoken like poetry. It's written so eloquently. And this is Susan going through the letter, and she's talking through some observations that I never knew about what was actually in there.
They would have been as excited to see you as you were to see them. Again, fish out of water, kid from Murray Bridge, may not become anything. All of a sudden he's in the fanciest hotel in London at a fancy soiree like that.
Yeah, and in the letters he was panicking because he didn't have a top hat and tails, which was expected, and all he had was a dinner suit. And he wrote about that and how nervous he was. But in his letters he speaks about how accommodating everyone was and everything that he saw, the glitz, the glamour, the dancers, the ladies. And this is back in the day when they would go to ballroom dances and things like that, and he was just so excited to be there.
Your dad is thankfully wordy. I mean that as a compliment. Thank God it's not just little dot points. So here's a photo of you. Again, you can see this on our live stream. You are looking at what in this photo?
So this is the British Optical Museum, which is near Piccadilly Circus, and it's a very discreet building. And what I'm looking at right now, which was provided to me by Professor Neil, and he's the curator, that is all of Dad's graduation records from 1959. And it shows his details, where he's from and when he was officially signed off as a fellow of the British Optical Association, which I didn't realise was the highest optical accreditation you could get in the world at that time, and he was only 21.
Is pride just bursting out of you when you're overseas? First and foremost, you get up and you just off and go. Now, I know that it was like a military exercise. You planned this to perfection. But you must have had every emotion possible as you're going through discovering more and more about your dad.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen some of the videos where I can't even speak. And that was something I realised on the trip was I was incredibly shy to speak on camera, and it was so overwhelming being there. And it was, I think we go through life just thinking our parents are our parents, and they've almost always been like that.
Yeah.
But this was a 21-year-old version of my dad. He had a huge life before I was born, and that's what made it so special.
Yeah, see, I think all of us, we all sit back now and go, do we know a lot about our parents? Do we know a lot about our grandparents? You've got it all there and you're able to trace it. Here's a very beautiful photo of you, by the way, looking a little Meghan Markle-esque, if I'm being honest. What are we looking at here?
So thank you. This was taken by a friend of mine, and this was me at the college. So Dad, as part of his scholarship, got a residency at London House, which is now called Goodenough College, which is essentially our St Mark's over here.
Yep.
And it was a specialty for international students studying in the medical area. And this was downstairs waiting for the person that would come and help me and take me on a tour. And what came from this day was outstanding. I actually got to go into Dad's old room, and I got to meet the current resident of his room, who was a young girl from Sri Lanka, and she was studying biomedical science, and she opened the door and we had a hug and a bit of a cry, and I actually left her a photo of Dad writing the letters in that room.
Wow, 70 years on.
Yeah.
You're getting emotional now.
Yeah.
Don't make me cry. I'm on the live stream too. Wow. All right. Can we have a look at some more photos, Sam? If we've got a couple more here to check out. We'll get those up in a second if we can. So, again, this is your story, but it resonates for more than just you and your family, doesn't it? Because people from around not just the country and the state, but the globe have reached out to you because it struck a nerve.
Yeah. I was going to keep this quiet. I wasn't sure if anyone was interested and just have a Facebook chat group with my mum and sister and brother, but it went a bit mental overnight. And I've had people message me from the US, from the east coast of Australia, people I've got no connection to, saying, you know, my mum's terminally ill. You've just prompted me to ask all these questions, saying my grandparents have letters from the war. No one's bothered to scan them, copy them, etc. So it was really important for me to share that, and people have been reaching out from literally all over the world.
This is not a guilt trip on you, it's a guilt trip on me and the rest of the audience too. We're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
We probably don't ask the questions that we need to ask before someone passes to patch them together. Thankfully, so thankfully, your dad was able to put them down in such beautiful letters that you're able to retrace them. Here's a photo now on our live stream. There's your dad.
Yes, so that's Dad the night before he hopped on the ship. So this is actually taken at the old Hotel Adelaide, which I believe was in North Adelaide, I think.
Yep. On O'Connell Street, right at the left-hand side as you're heading north. Yep.
Yes, so on the right-hand side, cropped out, is my grandma. And the following day, he hopped on the SS Orion from Outer Harbour, and it took him 4 weeks to sail.
4 weeks?
Yeah, 4 weeks.
Could you imagine?
Yep.
We bitch and moan now about 15 hours to LA.
Yeah.
4 weeks on a boat. So here he is in London.
This is in Trafalgar Square.
Yep.
And this is in the first 2 weeks. And the two people standing next to him are from his university course over there. And he just kept writing about these pigeons. Very descriptive man. And he just kept saying there were millions of pigeons in Trafalgar Square. You wouldn't believe it. And I went there and I actually stood in the exact same spot.
I think we have that photo. And there you are in the exact same spot as your father 70 years later.
Yeah. And there's many more.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think who's going to play him in the movie. Maybe like a young Tom Hiddleston or a Tom Hardy or one of these kind of things. I mean, again, I hope people are enjoying it as much as so many of us have with your social media account, because they're enjoying your story, but like a lot of these things, they now relay them to themselves and think, you know, maybe you've got a parent who's towards the end of their life.
Yeah.
To start these conversations.
Yeah, you've got one chance. And if you don't ask the questions, you may not have the letters, you may not have photos, etc. We live in an age where we do have this. And I hope that, well, thank God to social media and the digital age, this will be permanently fixed online somewhere. But ask your parents, or everything, anything.
How many letters has Dad got, do you know?
I think there's 100, nearly 200.
Wow.
200 letters, yeah.
And you've read them? Has all the family read them, or have they sort of gone, you know what, Kim, you're the curator of this, we'll watch the movie? It's a little bit like that?
I'm the curator, so I think my sister's scanned through a few, but I'm the only one in the family who has read everything from front to back.
Can you read a little bit for us, or will you get too emotional? This is your favourite letter.
This is my
I love
favourite.
the way your dad writes, by the way.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is my favourite one. So this was written on the 25th of October, 1958. Dear Mum and Dad, last Tuesday we attended the banquet and ball at the Savoy Hotel, which was unsurpassed as far as balls are concerned. We met numerous people, including Sir Stuart Duke Elder, the Queen's ophthalmologist. Never have you seen such luxury, which was shared mainly amongst the women in their magnificent gowns and diamond tiaras. Outside, the Rolls-Royce, Bentley and the other elite cars were plentiful. Never could this place be surpassed in Australia. Before leaving the ball, we were all aware that we would be little fishes in large ponds, but within 5 minutes upon our arrival, we had the feeling that we'd known each other for many years. Never had we laughed so much as we did that night, and the floor show, Spanish Dancers, was, of course, of world fame.
Do you know what I love? Your dad's a fish out of water, but he obviously took to it, you know, and you've got that. You're like a social butterfly too. That's genetics that's come through that you can tell, because most people would be overawed in that situation. You're in the Savoy, you're in another country.
Yeah.
You're young, but he just takes to it like a duck to water.
Yeah.
That's so great. Thanks for sharing them with people. Like, again, it's a fascinating story to follow from your point of view, and the fact that we know you, I think we get more enjoyment from it. But again, I think it's a great conversation starter for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never had the chance to ask your dad questions.
Mm-hmm.
He's thankfully given you such an amount of content that you can, and well done for packing up and going overseas. And so you went to London, Paris.
And Edinburgh. Yeah.
Not everyone gets a chance to do that, but they could have these conversations now with their grandparents, with their parents.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. And if they aren't around anymore, go through photos, piece things together, ask other family members.
Yep.
Now's your chance. Now's your chance to do it.
Before I let you out of here, what's next? So social, are we book, are we movie, are we taking calls from, the Rolf de Heers of the world, or,
I
types?
have been asked by a few outlets, and they're down to the stalking stage at the moment.
Excellent.
I think it's multiple accounts, and they've even gone onto the work website to find me.
Yep.
So I'm not too sure. It's head down at the moment.
Well done. Kim Vanstone, Letters from John is where you'll find it on Instagram, Facebook too? No.
No, just Instagram.
Instagram. All right. Letters_from_John. It's an amazing story. Thanks for sharing. Well done. We'll follow it with interest, and who knows, we might get a cameo in the movie. Back after this.
If you want to know what's going on at the Port Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowie and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sharman Shelving. Sharman have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
It's funny where memories live. They're all here, at home. From first steps on timber floors to first day nerves at the front door, dance rehearsals in the living room, to the sounds of after-school school bags flung across the hallway, the rush, the rhythm, the realness of it all. A Burbank home is made for all of life's moments. Visit a Burbank display today. Burbank, the pursuit of living. BLD 266709.
Breaking news. Chai latte and a chocolate donut is good for you. Maybe not when it comes to calories, but it is good for the soul. Cafe Hoppability in Fullerton is operated by Holistic Care SA and provides meaningful and rewarding jobs for keen workers who live with disability. And because you're doing a generous deed, you can grab a second donut guilt-free. Next lunch break, do something that's good for you and others. Cafe Hoppability Fullerton, just up from the roundabout.
Right now, you're one step closer to driving away in Lexus Luxury. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event is on now. Receive exceptional value on all new and demonstrator models in stock, including the exhilarating NX Hybrid. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event ends June 30. LVD 2009.
Sail through Europe's majestic waterways in style with Emerald Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience a 15-day Splendours of Europe river cruise from just $4,945 per person, saving up to $2,750 per person. Explore 5 countries and enjoy 13 Emerald active excursions and Emerald Plus experiences with meals, beverages, transfers and more all included. Offer ends June 30. Visit pht.com.au.
There's lots of benefits with WEA face-to-face learning. For example, you can ask a question and get an answer immediately. Now try asking YouTube a question. WEA has 22 language courses on offer and over 80 cooking and wine appreciation courses. How about learning subdividing land and property development, gardening in a changing climate, or music and performing arts for hobbies? For face-to-face learning you'll love, visit wea-sa.com.au.
1 minute you've got a life in front of you and you're happy and you've got your family, and the next minute you've got nothing. And I thought to myself, this is the end of my life. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. But Hutt Street Centre straight away made me feel like I'm safe. I'm comfortable. There is another day tomorrow and it's going to be a bright day. That's what Hutt Street is to me.
This winter, help bring warmth and hope to people who need it most by making a donation. Visit huttstreetcentre.org.au.
5AA Afternoons with Leith, Forrest.
And Tim Ginniver, who's coming up just after 4 o'clock with Stephen Rowe. Big sports show on the way. Very rare, Timmy, that the Crows, the Power and the Blues all win on the same weekend. So it was a terrific weekend.
It's funny you say that because obviously we've got Blake Flanagan helping us out, a mad blues man. And, of course, we actually said that. When's the last time the three of them won? Yeah, quite phenomenal. So I think we worked that out. It was round 6 that both Port and Crows won. So it makes the following week a lot more joyous, let me tell you.
Might have actually been when Kim was, her father was in London, maybe back in the 1950s, that Crows, Port and Carlton all won on the same weekend. It doesn't happen that often, sadly. What's coming up on the big show?
Well, it's Campo Day. It's a Coach's Corner, so we always get Campo in and the like. Nanny McHenry comes in after 6, but we've got one of each of Port and the Crows. We've got Isaac Cumming and we've got Sava Radicalia to wrap up their games from the weekend and what's coming forward. Because Crows have only got the one game left. Now, Rowie, he's talking betting terms. He said, I've got a quadrella running, you know, and a quaddie, and this is the last leg of it. So it's Crows v Hawthorn down in Launceston. He gets it. And I said, do you know how many people have lost in the last leg of a quaddie?
Are we all death riding his quadrella? We'll watch, gamble responsibly.
Correct.
We will watch with interest. All right, big show coming up at 4 o'clock.
Look forward to it.
Well done. Thank you, Tim. Tim and Rowie coming up next. Your chance to go to the Best of SA.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get free installation? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2, the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers and get free installation on your cabinets with laminate benchtops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too